And he did it again. He wasn't. I couldn't hold it. I'm trying my hardest right now. I was gonna hold out and see how long you were gonna wait before you said something.
This is a draw like in the Wild Wild West. Like
we both were gonna stick to our guns.
We're both at the trigger trying to stick to our guns.
Who's gonna be the one to intro this?
You are the one to intro it because you are the host. So
he never knows. Got to keep him on his toes. It's Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show here from Glynn Smith Chevrolet GMC, as we do every month. The OG, the original presenting sponsor that really kickstarted what we've been able to do. In the last couple of years, we always are thankful for our family here at Glynn Smith. Thank you specifically to Jerry Potter for believing in what we do. Big Rich, man, what a week it has been. High school basketball starting to come to a close as regular season's about to finish. Region tournaments are going to start. Can you believe it or not? Baseball's here. River Dragons are going on. A legend retires in the area and more. A great show in store. But how are you doing on this cold? And they're expecting maybe some snow flurries Saturday, I guess, afternoon.
I'll tell you what, Thrift, I bundled up when I got in the car and I headed up here to Glynn Smith because it is not only cold, but it is windy. And you just got to take the extra precautions when it comes to temperatures in the 20s. And it's going to stay 20s, 30s, probably the next couple of days. But glad to be here back at Glynn Smith Chevrolet GMC up here in Opelika. Man, we had a busy week of high school basketball, and I'm ready to talk about it all.
Yep, we did, and we're going to be recapping all the games that happened this past weekend, talk about what we got coming up today, and then, of course, baseball media day tomorrow. We also presented by Glynn Smith Chevrolet GMC, Kinetic Credit Union, Coca-Cola, Houston Clinic, and many others, and we thank them so much. All right, let's talk about what happened, I guess, in the immediate past, and we'll talk about the whole week, but we'll start with last night. Richard, we had several things going on. Middle Georgia Sports Live was busy. They had two games between Westfield and Calvary and Tatnall Mountain DeSales.
Yes.
We were able to see both of those games go down the wire. Congratulations and great job to our Middle Georgia crew. Brett Taylor, Braden Holder, and the rest. Aiden Mozinga was on the call, I know, for one of them, Trent Jackson. And I thought the guys did a great job and starting to put our footprint down in Macon and that Middle Georgia area. But not only did we have that going, we also had three games going on here locally that we were able to broadcast. We'll start with the game we were at last night, Carver-Sumter. For the girls, Sumter County came in with only one loss. They were upset last week somehow by Shaw. Then the Carver Tigers, who only lost this year, was to Sumter, and it was a 2-point game. Guess what, Rich? Last night, they took Sumter to the woodshed. They won by 20 points. I told Coach Hunley that was the most complete performance I've seen from his team, and they're looking like every bit the favorite we thought they would be in their region now, as they are in sole first place.
Yeah, Janila Russ was the Alex Quiddy All-State Good Ants player of the game, and she came out on fire in that second half with 17 points. And it was an unfortunate incident in the start of the second half with Cam Bass getting ejected.
Yeah.
But I thought it lit a fire under that Carver team, and they just went on a roll.
I want you to finish your thought. I'm talking about Carver, but give me a second because I think we should go ahead and clarify the Cam Bass situation,
Yes.
okay? So last night, Richard, you were on the call for that. Great job by you. There was an incident that happened on the Carver end of the court, but Sumter County had it, so they're obviously far away from their basket. Carver was doing their full court press. Cam Bass tried to make a play on the ball. The player, Barron from Sumter County,
Aaliyah Barron,
she swung her hand in an attempt to kind of move Cam Bass and connected with Cam's face. Made her bleed. Well, obviously, including myself in that situation, would have reacted the same way that Cam did, and she obviously was ejected because she got really upset, but I think all of it could have been avoided. There was an official there, and I'm not going to name names, but there was an official right there in front of it. Once he saw and I know he saw it, the Cam Bass getting hit in the face, a foul should have been called immediately, and he should have went in to break it up. Instead, nothing was called, and then Cam comes back, in which created everything that happened. So I would hope for referees, it's a learning experience for you. Once you see that, you need to step in immediately to avoid the everything that happened afterwards.
Right.
And then I didn't understand why Cam was the only one ejected when, again, this girl who had made no attempt on a basketball play, she was trying to hit Cam, and she smacked her in the face. And yet she just had to come out of the game. She wasn't ejected. I didn't agree with that call. But aside from that, though, Carver, even without Cam Bass, dominant there in that second half.
Yeah, absolutely dominant. And it was players like Armani West, Armani Moore, and Janila Russ, Janiyah Cobb. They all were stepping in for Cam Bass. And that's what's great about a team that's coached by Coach Anson Hundley is they always have depth. And now we've got Carver, top of the region, and they are sitting alone in first place with Sumter County's second loss. And it's going to be fun to see Carver taking on Spencer tonight.
Yeah.
And then on Tuesday, they're taking on Hardaway. We'll get some clarity in the girls' region to see who is going to be the top of this list. And it's looking like that the region tournament is going to be at Carver.
Yes, because if Carver boys win today against Spencer, they'll clinch the regular season title. And this year, the boys, unlike last year Hardaway hosted, because it was whoever was in first place of the girls. This year, whoever was in first place of the boys will host the region tournament. So it looks like Carver, which we love their court and their gymnasium and their facilities. We look forward to being there, hopefully, for the region tournament. We will find that out today. And I also will tell you, next Tuesday, that Carver-Hardaway game, there could be a surprise in store. I will tell you that. We'll just drop that hint, and we'll leave it at that. But that game's last time went down to the wire, and this time could be even more hyped up, and we're going to be there for that for sure at Hardaway. So that's going to be a big-time game. But Carver, great win by the Lady Tigers and Coach Anson Hundley. They're starting to put it all together now, Richard. 11-9 on the season and only have one region loss. Let's talk about some of the other games that we had around here. Pacelli, boys and girls, big wins over Strong Rock. We expected that. For Pacelli boys, they're undefeated in region play. For the girls, they got Westfield still on the road. They have to play, I think, next week, Richard.
Right.
And the girls lost to Westfield earlier in the year at home. That game's pretty much for the region. If Westfield wins, they'll be the region champ. But remember, Calvary is hosting. But if Pacelli wins, I wonder how the tiebreaker is going to break down. But good win for Pacelli boys and girls.
Yeah, absolutely. Dominant win by the boys. Obviously, the girls know that with the win over Strong Rock, they are right behind Westfield. And I can't wait to see them play Westfield next week as we have just are continuing to truck along as we got a couple more weeks left before we get ready for just an also important district tournament, which is going to be taking place at Calvary on February 10th and the 12th. Championship games and third place games, they're going to be on the 12th to find out the seeding for the GIAA playoffs, which obviously the first and second rounds are going to be at the home court of the top seed. The first four seeds get a bye. Right now, the Pacelli girls are sitting at the 8th seed. The Pacelli boys are the number 1 seed. And, of course, the quarterfinals are going to be in Macon at Tatnall, FPD, and Stratford.
Also, Shaw at Spencer was last night, and Shaw girls got a big win. After beating Sumter last week, they got dominated by Carver earlier this week on Tuesday. They were to take down Spencer, so Shaw got a big win by them. Yeah. And then for the boys' side, Spencer boys got a big win over Shaw, 86-61. They go to 15-4, on the year, and they are 7-2 in region play, and they host Carver tonight. That should be a ton of fun, but great wins by Spencer boys and Shaw girls last night.
Yeah, and we also had some other teams around the area that we did not broadcast. The Columbus girls and boys getting big wins over Kendrick. That Columbus boys win over Kendrick was a huge win. It was a 2-point win. It kind of gives Columbus some momentum, especially they're playing their best basketball at the right time. And I'm looking at the schedule next week, knowing that we definitely got to get a Columbus game in, especially when they got some very important games, including against Spencer and Sumter County, that if they play hot as of late, they might be that dangerous team that can make a run in that region tournament.
All right, so Thursday, Pacelli lost to Sandy Creek boys, Richard, and then Dothan. How about the Dothan girls and boys went to Russell County? tightly contested games, but they were able to take down Russell County. Glenwood, boys and girls, won against Valley. Good job by them. They will play next week against Russell County, and then they're in the area tournament. We also got Stars Mill. They beat Harris County girls, so it looks like Harris County girls are going to be second place in the region, and the boys are still struggling. So, and we already talked about Calvary Pacelli because we talked about them on Wednesday night's show. So, Big Rich, any other thoughts?
Yeah,
some of the games that happened elsewhere around the area.
Yeah, a couple of Hardaway ends up beating Jordan last night.
Yep.
Mundy's Mill ended up beating the Harris County boys. Harris County will play Northside later this afternoon. I'm impressed with the Northside boys. I know they're 3-19, but they lost to Central Carrollton on the road by 3. They are improving. I know that Coach Greg Johnson has got a team that's young with Xavier Davies, that they're a fun team to watch. And I just look at their record. I think, a 3-19 team, but they are close. They are contested games just about, especially in their region, and they have a chance to win another game as they play Harris County tonight.
Yes, they do. All right, Rich. Let's talk about it. What are we doing today? Well, you're going to find out right after this break. We'll be right back after this. It's live from Glynn Smith Chevrolet GMC on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Glynn Smith Chevrolet. Let's kick off 2026 with a bang. We will not be undersold. Chevy Traverse with 3-row seating up to $7,250 off. The impressive Chevy Equinox up to $5,500 off. Enjoy no payments until springtime. Get your lowest price guaranteed today. Smart people from all over the USA come to Glynn Smith Chevrolet. Get ready to smile.
At Jack Houston Memorial Hospital, our focus is you. Even though we performed more than 1,300 joint replacements last year, we treat you like you are our only patient. Your surgeon explains your joint replacement, so nothing is a surprise. Our team knows your treatment plan, and we work together to get you back on your feet again. That's why our hospital is recognized year after year as a leader in patient satisfaction and quality of care. Jack Houston Memorial Hospital. Excellence, always.
Welcome back, everyone, here to the Georgia Alabama Sports Live show from Glynn Smith Chevrolet GMC. Tons of inventory on the lot right now. Check out their website before you even get here and see all the great deals heading into 2026. All right, we got several games today. For one, Strong Rock at Brooks Home got rescheduled to Monday. So we decided to pick up a game. We're going to be live from Central. Mm-hmm. You heard it right. We're broadcasting a Central game. And it's against Prattville. It's going to be fun because someone that means a lot to me, I've watched her grow up, Jabria Lindsay, 3,000 points, and this is going to be one of her final games playing at Central, and what an incredible career. She's been starting on the varsity since the 7th grade. Yeah, she's a special player, and we're really glad that we get to be there to cover that. Thank you to Matt Bell, Tim Lorman, and everyone involved, Regetta Williams, for allowing us the opportunity to broadcast this game. That's all we want, and we look forward to being there and showcasing Jabria Lindsay and her fantastic team, and looking forward to seeing how the rest of the season plays out. I know last night they took down Smith Station. It was a packed house.
It was,
It was fun to watch. So glad that they were able to have that, and then we'll be there today here in just a little bit to call the game against Prattville.
Yeah, we're just heading down to Central, just down the road. I'm excited because Jabria Lindsay, we've talked about her on the show. We've live streamed several of her games on the road, like when they play Smith Station in Russell County. But she is also one of those players that we can now say a McDonald's All-American. That is a rare trait, to have a player from the Tri-City area, either boys or girls, become a McDonald's All-American. She is committed to the University of Central Florida in the Big 12. I mean, I'm looking forward to that collegiate career. I mean, she is just an incredible player. We got to be on the call in the Muskogee County Holiday Showcase when she returned from injury. She was the player of the game. She had just a huge impact coming off the bench, and she was actually the leading scorer. She led the team in blocks, steals, rebounds, assists. I mean, she is just the do-it-all player that is going to be transition to the next level, and we're just excited that we get to send her career off on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. This is incredible that we're doing a Central game, and I'm excited that we're going to be on the call.
So they are playing Prattville, who's 19-4. Central comes in 13-8. They did play Prattville earlier this year and lost by 4, but that was without Jabria. So this is going to be a big game. And for the boys, they lost to Prattville earlier this year by 16. So should be a lot of fun. I know the girls lost to Auburn. Actually, they're 15-8, I think.
Yeah, because
they beat Opelika
and Smith Station.
So they're 15-8, and they are behind Auburn, who is right now just
Auburn. They're on another level
man.
right now.
They just
dominant.
Auburn program is 18-3 on the year, so really good program under Coach Pritchett. So Rogetta Williams and Central tonight. Also Carver Spencer.
Part two.
There
we go.
Mike Frost and myself will be there. I'll be doing tag team on this. For the girls, Coach Cinch is going to try to keep it close. Last game, it was a back-and-forth battle. And for the boys, listen, Carver right now has not lost a region game, Richard, in 2 years in this region. They're undefeated, and they're dominant. And the way Tobias played last night and Quadair Truesdale, I don't know if they're going to slow down anytime soon. 17-3. But I will tell you this. Spencer's a scrappy bunch. These two teams are a little bit different than the last time they played. And I think Spencer, if they play their best, has an opportunity at home to keep it close with Carver. They've beaten Shaw, Jordan, Hardaway, Washington County, and Columbus. They're on a 5-game winning streak after losing to Carver and Kendrick. They lost to Carver by 11 and Kendrick by 6. It's 7-2. In the region right now, Richard, 15-4 on the season. I think this could be a competitive game, man. I really
think so
do.
Too.
I just think, obviously, you can't turn the ball over a lot, and you got to be able to make Carver play half-court offense. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, Spencer ran away with that second half against Shaw. Jamarian Griffin was the Alex Quinney All-State Good Hands player of the game, and now they got to turn around and play their heated rival on their home court. If you're a Spencer fan, if you're a Spencer alum, you need to be there and pack that gymnasium. You got to get as much home court advantage you possibly can, because Spencer can surprise some teams going on a run like they did in that second half. And if Carver makes the mistakes like they have made in the past, they were trailing by Shaw by 3. It was very close against Sumter County in that first half. Spencer can go on a run, and I know that Carver is the prohibitive favorite, but I think that Spencer, like you mentioned, can keep it close because they are playing at home.
So that will be tonight. Can't wait to do it, Rich. We'll be tag teaming that on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. So that's high school basketball. We'll drop rankings as we're going to start doing them every week as we've been doing for the last couple of weeks, because guess what? We're almost at the end of the regular season. Area tournament's about to start for Glenwood. Russell County as well. They're getting to host. Glenwood's going to host girls, I think, and the boys will be at Lee Scott. And then you got Carver, potentially, if they win today, hosting their region. Chatco hosting their region. Calvary hosting their region. So we're going to be doing a lot of playoff region tournament basketball here in the next week or so. Plus, we got GIAA state championships that are going to be at Columbus State University. Baseball starting. CVCC basketball, baseball, and softball are underway. So February Frenzy, guess what? Starts tomorrow. And guess what else starts tomorrow? Baseball Media Day. We'll talk about that and preview it coming up next here, live from Glynn Smith, the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show.
At Glynn Smith Chevrolet, let's kick off 2026 with a bang. We will not be undersold. Chevy Traverse with 3-row seating up to $7,250 off. The impressive Chevy Equinox up to $5,500 off. Enjoy no payments until springtime. At your lowest price guaranteed today. Smart people from all over the USA come to Glynn Smith Chevrolet. Get ready to smile.
Hello, everybody. This is DJ Jones with the Sports Visions Morning Show for the best in local, regional, and national sports news weekdays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
You can find the Sports Visions Morning Show on Facebook, YouTube. Also, you can listen to us on Apple and Spotify by typing in the Sports Visions Morning Show, and download the Sports Visions radio app right now in your app store today.
Sports Vision 92.1. We are your hometown sports guys.
For the big, for the small, the short, and the tall. Peacemakers, risk takers. For the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists. For long distance love. For the farsighted, nearsighted. For introverts and extroverts. For the thinkers and the doers. For old friends. Coca-Cola. For everyone.
I know it's freezing outside, but baseball's here, and they've already started practice,
Oh, my goodness.
which I would not be surprised if those guys probably going to be in the batting cage. I wouldn't assume they would be out in this freezing cold weather, but you never know. All right, we got Media Day tomorrow, Richard. It is the 3rd annual Georgia Alabama Sports Live Baseball Media Day. Kickoff coverage, 17 potential schools that are going to be in attendance. And we look forward to showcasing and previewing every one of those teams. Let's talk about some of those at the top, Richard. We'll start with the two teams that won championships last year, Glenwood and Brookstone. I'll go Glenwood first, and I'll let you take Brookstone. For the Gators, Coach Fanning, 3 straight state championships. You heard that right. In 2 different leagues. They have had, I think, in the last 3 years, the most dominant run we have maybe seen, and I'm talking about the talent on those 3 teams I put up against any in the last 25 years. This run that Coach Fanning and the talent that has gone through Glenwood the last 3 years is unmatched. They are by far the number 1 baseball team in this area, and they have been the most dominant, and I don't think any of the coaches would argue with that fact. I was so impressed with them last year coming off of their first year in the AHSA to make it all the way to the state championship and win, to beat all the local teams, including Central, playing them for the first time ever and winning on their field. And you could have scripted it better for Coach Fanning in his first year in the AHSA. Now, this year, listen, they got a lot of talent coming back, but inexperienced talent, but still talent. And Gators are going to still be one of the favorites, as always, because they don't rebuild, Richard. They
reload.
And that's what great teams do. Hudson Campbell will be back. He is going to be their go-to guy on the mound. They got several key bats. They're going to be coming, including Boudreaux, who plays first base, who they like to call Boudreaux now. I can't even think of his name. Oh, the young man, Andrew Wilkinson, who was had that incredible game against Lee Scott in that 2024 state championship, Game 3, put a freshman in, and Andrew came up huge. He's going to be great. Kyle Lawrence, he hit the 3-run home run bomb against Central to win. Glenwood's going to be fine. They are replacing Mason McCrane at Auburn, Tyler Sykes, Levi Pender. These guys all, I think, finished as one of the top careers in Glenwood history with 3 state championships to end it. But Gators, obviously, when we drop our rankings tomorrow, I don't think anybody will be shocked seeing them at the top of the list. Richard, but don't forget about Brookstone. I know Glenwood gets a lot of hype, but the Cougars have won back-to-back, and how about Greg Mathis?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Thrift. The back-to-back GIAA champions, and coming into this season, yeah, they've lost players like Chai-Nu Kim, which was an incredible ace. He's now at Berry College. Mercer Hudson was that leader behind the plate, but they're getting players back like Brendan Neal, who's committed to Auburn. He's one of the best baseball players to come out of this area in a long time.
Yep.
Luke Lowry, great outfielder and pitcher. We got, I mean,
potentially Ben Ivy, who got him
possibly, yes,
and he got hurt in that game that we
did,
drank 6
yes.
hot chocolates against Columbus
Oh,
High
my goodness.
in a 2-0 game. And think about if they would have had him last year. But you're right, a lot of pitching depth, and they're in that same category as Glenwood with the reloading.
They are. Gray Jones is another player I forgot to mention. Is also going to be one of those, but they are going to be tested. Obviously, First Presbyterian Day is great. I think Keelan Johnson's now a senior, one of the best baseball players to come out of the GIAA. And Calvary is going to, remember, they took 2 out of 3 against Brookstone last year. Even though Brookstone won the championship last year, it's hard to three-peat. I know that they are the favorites in the GIAA, but they're going to have a big target on their back, and I can't wait to see what Coach Greg Mathis is going to bring out on the diamond. We're excited to be live streaming Brookstone baseball for the second year.
Again, our hearts and prayers are out there with everyone in Harris County. I want to commend Ricky Rogers and those that were involved in the visual on Thursday at Jordan. Hundreds in attendance, able to speak what Tony Dimitri has meant to them in this community. There is now a petition going around to name the field after Anthony Dimitri Sr., Tony's dad, and Tony, who were longtime baseball coaches there. And I definitely set my approval for that.
Yes.
As they have gotten hundreds of signatures, and I hope that will happen in the not-too-distant future, hopefully in the next couple of months. This is a no-brainer type situation, and I'm willing to bet wholeheartedly funds could be raised like this to make sure a sign is put out there. So I really hope that that does happen. But thank you to Ricky Rogers, and our hearts and prayers are with Tony's wife, Lauren, and his beautiful kids. Just a heartbreaking situation for the county. Brandon Jenkins has now taken over with the program for this year in an interim role, and we look forward to seeing Harris County and those boys as they're going out every day for their head coach. Yeah. And it's stuff like that that I saw this past week before I try to get emotional. Last night, Steve Smith and the Calvary Christian Knights went out and fed Harris County baseball. That's what sports is about.
Yeah. And
that's what we hope we are trying to accomplish here at Georgia Alabama Sports Live, that we are all one big family in this area, man. And when county's hurting, we're hurting. And when Muskogee County's hurting, when Russell County, Smith Station, any of our schools, when something happens, we bleed. We hurt, and we think about them. And I thought that was a class move for Calvary, and I know others have done similar things, reaching out to that Harris County baseball program. Thank you to Rick Beach. I thought he has written some very nice words in that regard, and anything that Harris County needs from us, we will always be there for them, and we look forward to doing many baseball games. This team is really talented, and they are going to be way up on our list, and I think high expectations for them. And again, hearts and prayers out there to County. I'm cheering for them.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that right now. I am a big fan of this Harris County team.
I am too, Thrift. I know they're going to be playing inspired baseball this year, and they got a good team coming back. This is a team that went to the second round of the GHSA 4A state playoffs. They did lose to Alatoona, but they're getting one of the top hitters coming back, Dejon Elder. He batted .432 last year. Obviously, the Dimitri kid, Will Dimitri, and then his cousin Dimitri. I mean, you have players that are freshmen that were on that 2023 team that were 2 wins away from the Little League World Series, like Jacob Gilstrap. I cannot wait to see Jacob Gilstrap. We called a game where he hit a grand slam against Northern in the District 8 championship, and now 4 years later, he's now a Harris County Tiger. That's amazing.
It is, and it's unbelievable. And we look forward to doing that. So Harris County, another great team. And thank you again to those who attended at the visual at Jordan High School. They actually recorded that, national audio and visual, and we will have that played for you sometime next week, and we look forward to that, putting that on the platform Richard, to talk about it as well. So
I don't want to leave anybody out. Obviously, Caden Dimitri, Hudson Clark, Jacob Eber, JT Perkle. I know there were some other great players. They got a young team, and they're going to be really good this year.
All right, so some other programs. Calvary, I know last year they were the only team that beat Brookstone in a series. Brookstone did not lose one series last year except the one team, Calvary. Calvary ended up losing to Strong Rock in a best-of-3 in that first round. I know Coach Steve Smith is motivated than ever. I know his program and this offseason has spent a lot of hours and a lot of time feeling that, hey, man, we got a bad taste in our mouth after winning 6 straight state championships, a second year in the GIAA. I know high expectations over this Calvary program, and I'm expecting them to be one of the top teams in the GIAA and in our area throughout the season. They come in. They're going to have a great year. Northside, Tracy Powell, David Lane over at Jordan, Chad Mathis at Columbus High. I think all those coaches are doing a great job. We got new first-year head coaches at Shaw and Matt Ward over at Pacelli. Looking forward to seeing how those programs are going to play out. Danny Danielson in Russell County. How long before that program starts rolling? He's done a great job. So cannot wait for Baseball Media Day, 2 p.m. tomorrow, live from the Beck Center. We'll be there all day long previewing high school baseball.
Yeah, I can't wait. Coach Bird at Smith Station in his second year.
Coach Kehoe
at Central. He's going to be part of Media Day as well. Can't wait for that. Carver's got a new baseball coach, Coach Bowman. I'm really excited. Let's go. 2 o'clock. Shaw is actually kicking off. It'd be that first team at 2 o'clock to speak at Baseball Media Day.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to wrap up the show here live from Glynn Smith Chevrolet GMC. It's been a lot of fun. And again, if you need a new car or truck, there's nowhere else better with deals than here at Glynn Smith Chevrolet GMC. Check out their website right now, glennsmith.com. You can see all the inventory before you even take foot on the lot. And you know what the biggest thing is? They get tons of inventory. They have a lot full of it. No one else has this much inventory. I promise you that. That's why people from not just our area, not just here in Opelika and Auburn, but from across the Southeast and even the country come to Glynn Smith Chevrolet GMC. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll wrap it up here on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show.
At Glynn Smith Chevrolet, let's kick off 2026 with a bang. We will not be undersold. Powerful full-size Chevy Silverados up to $13,750 off. Rugged mid-size Chevy Colorados up to $9,000 off. Enjoy no payments until springtime. Get your lowest price guaranteed today. Smart people from all over the USA come to Glynn Smith Chevrolet. Get ready to smile.
Georgia Alabama Sports Live wants to say thank you to Zaxby's for their continued partnership with us for over the last couple years since we started this. Your partnership has meant the world for us to give you premier coverage for all the local sporting events around the Chattahoochee Valley area. And specifically, I want to thank Judson Humphreys, my good friend, and the Phoenix City location, being with us from the very beginning, man.
Absolutely. Well, we just appreciate what y'all do in the community for these student athletes, and we just want to be a part of it.
Whether it's tailgating, parties, or you just want a quick bite to eat, come to the Phoenix City Zaxby's location and tell them Georgia Alabama Sports Live and Thrift sent you. Thank you again to Judson Humphreys and Zaxby's for our continued partnership on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
At Planet Fitness, there's strength in numbers. The number of different workouts to do. 1, 2, 3. Different clubs to do it in. Friends to do it with.
Looking good, everybody.
Here we are.
And the number of ways to recover from it all.
You got this, come on.
And it all adds up to one membership. The Planet Fitness Black Card. Access any location, bring a friend anytime, and recover in the Black Card Spa.
One more, everybody.
We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
Welcome back, everyone, here, Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show. As I may mention, we were going to talk some CVCC, CSU earlier in the week. Quick update on CVCC. The girls got a big win this week, and they had to take on Sneed State that was going to be first place within their region. We'll give you that update here in just a moment. But before we do that, we're going to talk River Dragons because I said that's what we were going to get into. Rich, what's going on with the Columbus River Dragons?
Absolutely. In front of 3,000 screaming fans at the Columbus Civic Center last night, they were able to get the 7-3 victory over the Biloxi Breakers. Now, they're still third in the Continental Division because Monroe and Athens are just running away with this. But it looks like they're going to make the playoffs. Justin Samaro had 2 goals and assists. And we also had Yemikov Yaroslav with a goal and assist. And those were, usually in hockey, you have your 3 stars of the game. Those were the first and second stars. And Columbus was outshot by Biloxi 33-31, but Columbus was relentless in that third period, getting the outshooting Biloxi 11-6. Now, they'll play Biloxi again tonight.
Yep.
If you have a chance to go to a River Dragons game. If you haven't been to a River Dragons game, tonight's the chance. I know it's going to be cold weather, but that's one where they're not going to move that game up. They're going to play that game, and so because Biloxi's still in town, and then they're going to go on the road next Friday. They travel to Biloxi for just 1 game. They are back in action on February the 7th against the PD Ice Cats, and then February the 13th and the 14th. So take your significant other for Valentine's Day weekend. But I do want to make mention that February 21st is Military Night. This is a very special event that's near and dear to my heart, especially when the young soldiers that are stationed at Fort Benning, they will pack that upper deck, and you'll see a sea of fatigues. And the PA announcer, Dana Barker, will actually get them to recite the Soldier's Creed. It gives you chills when you are in the Civic Center, and I can't wait for Military Night.
All right, Rich, thanks for that update, and I can't wait for it either, and I hope the River Dragons continue playing their best ball. And listen, it could be their year where they somehow get in the playoffs, sneak in, and manage to win the championship this year.
Why not?
They didn't do it when they were number 1 seed, but that's pretty much how luck rolls for them. Let's talk about CVCC basketball. They lost, boys did, to Snead State. The boys are now 3-7, 5-17. But I'll tell you this, though. In their 6 games they got in February, 5 of them, I think, are very winnable games. And if they're able to get to 500 in conference play, they'll be in the conference tournament, and who knows what could happen. So I'm not counting them out. But the CVCC girls, big win, 13-7, and they are now in first place. They took down Snead State at Snead State. Their only loss this year in conference play, 49-48. Coach Joe Richardson's team got a massive win. So congratulations to CVCC, and now they are tied for first with Snead State. Now let's talk Columbus State basketball, Richard, and the girls keep their trend of saying that's the number 1 seed in the Peach Belt Conference.
Yeah, they avenged their loss to North Georgia earlier up in Dahlonega as they are in sole possession of first place in the Peach Belt Conference, defeating North Georgia 70-52.
Wow.
Lataya Reeves had 21 points. Now they go on the road down to St. Augustine to take on Flagler. Hopefully the weather's going to be okay. I know that Florida's getting kind of a cold spell. And then they're going to be taking on Augusta, which is actually in third place. So if they continue winning like they've been winning, they could host the Peach Belt Conference Tournament. And that would be a goal that I know that Coach Hauser, we had him on the Sports Visions Morning Show the other day. I know that is definitely a goal that they are trying to reach. But Lataya Reeves, I think she is going to be an All-American. I mean, she is just an outstanding player, a leader on the court.
No doubt.
And congratulations to Coach Hauser and the Columbus State Lady Cougars.
All right, and finally, Columbus State men's program got a win 77-68 over North Georgia. And the Cougars now go to 8-4 in Peach Belt Conference play, 14-6. They stay right there at top, right behind Lander because they lost to Lander twice. Marlon Smith, this guy's starting to become the go-to. We talked about him at 17 points a game now, 29 last night. 29 on Thursday night, 9 rebounds, 5 of 8 from three-point line, 9 of 15 from the field. This guy was absolutely sensational, man. So really glad by him. Lee Langstaff had 12. Jordan Mitchell's been coming along good. He had 14 and 7. And Columbus State trying to keep up with the Joneses there in the Peach Belt Conference. So I know the girls are in first place. As far as the boys, looking at the standings right now, Columbus State is in third behind UC Beaufort and Lander. Columbus State also has to play, I think they play Beaufort at the end, or yes, they play UC. They do it in Bluffton. In South Carolina. They did lose to Beaufort by 2 earlier this year, so let's see if they can avenge that loss. So we got to hurry up and get out of here, man. We got 2 big games. We got Central and Prattville boys and girls. We got Carver Spencer, boys and girls. Stay warm, be safe, and we'll see you later. We got Baseball Media Day and 2 great games on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.